Wings.
Haven't heard of it? Well, let me educate you.
Alright, first of all, let's go on IMDb. Go in movies. Wait, not where I want to be. Okay, movies. There we go. Best Picture winners. Scroll all the way down, and I mean all the way down, and you will see, Wings, 1927, the very first Best Picture winner. And then you see who's in it and all that jazz. Yeah.
So yes, they played this trailer when I saw The Godfather Part 2, and you know, this is one of those films where had I been like a younger version of me and just like addicted to action films, I would have not seen this film. But given how I'm me now, major movie buff, I see everything, minus Twilight, I said to myself, you know what, I need to go see this. And so I did. This is a black and white, kind of standard run-of-the-mill type war movie where you've got these two guys. One is from a very rich family, one's from a not very rich family. They both go to war and, stuff happens. Now, it's easy for a person like me to go into this film thinking that it's going to be boring as hell because, you know, I've seen a lot of war films, a lot of them, you know, glamorous and all over the top, and, you know, like Pearl Harbor and all these other, like, Hurt Locker type movies. I went in hoping to enjoy it, hopefully, you know, get involved with the characters, you know, get involved with the story. But unfortunately, I found myself nearly bored to tears. It wasn't as boring as The Deep Blue Sea, but it was pretty boring, and I'd have to say for about 95% of this film, I sat there hoping for it to get better, and it really didn't. I really feel like I'm being a jackass here, but honestly, as much as I'd like to appreciate this film, I just can't. I mean, this is so standard run-of-the-mill, and I mean, I know that like this is probably the film that like was like the thing to look at, like the blueprint for other war films that came later that were, you know, great as well, considered to be great. And given how this won Best Picture, you'd think, oh, well, maybe I'll understand why. No, I didn't, which has happened before. Oddly enough, parts of this film did remind me of Pearl Harbor. It also kind of reminded me of Red Tails, but thankfully George Lucas had no part in this film, so there's a bonus. My main problems with the film is that I didn't really care for either of the main characters. Despite the fact that it was black and white, there were occasional bursts of color, like when they were finding machine guns in the airplanes, there were, you know, the fire was like, you know, the color of fire. And, you know, I did appreciate that, but, God, I'm totally spoiled by all these really big action films with beautiful colors and explosions like Avatar, Transformers. Oh my god. And this film's length, it's kind of like what happened with Salmon Fishing in the Yemen, where it was a bit long for my taste, but the length really did flesh the characters out. There was also one bit that involved this guy getting drunk and he started seeing bubbles everywhere. That sequence honestly turned from stupid to just downright didn't really work for me. Wings is the film much like The Godfather in the sense that I wouldn't be surprised at all if people came up to me and said, you know, oh, I hated that film, because while I don't hate it, I just didn't like it. But it's one of those films where it's just a monumental occasion in Hollywood where it won Best Picture and, you know, it holds significant value in the world of film. So, you know, if you're like me, see it. If you're not like me, but you still like to watch movies, rent it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of those films where watch it once, then you don't have to watch it ever again. Unless you like it, of course. I'm gonna give Wings 2 out of 5 stars. I feel like a jackass saying that, but I don't know, just... Yep, I feel like a jackass.
Kind of interesting just to go back in time and see what won Best Picture. You gotta wonder if these films would win again today, or if they hadn't been released back then, if they would win today, you know, have a chance at all. I honestly don't know. Some of these films, man. Interesting. 2000, 2001. Both Russell Crowe films. Huh.